Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish up 5.1, picking up here on slide 8. So we're going to find some missing angle measures. So yesterday we talked about all those interior and exterior angles and how they're equal, and corresponding angles are equal, and vertical angles are equal. So we can use that information to help us find missing measures. It says when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, special angle relationships exist. We talked about those yesterday. If you know the measure of one of the angles, you can find the measures of all the angles. Suppose you know in this one that the measure of angle 1 is 50. I like to write it in there. You can use that measure to find the angles of 2, 3, and 4. So it tells you what we have for an example. So going through here, angle 1 and angle 3 are equal because they're vertical. That was last year. Now these two, because they're on a line, they have to add up to 180. So what plus 50 is 180? Well, 130 degrees. Same thing here, you can use that same logic. These two are on a line, so it makes this 130 degrees. Double checking that these are vertical, so they're also equal. And then you could also use all of this information that 1 corresponds to 5. So this one's going to make it 50 degrees. 8 corresponds to, 4 corresponds to 8. 7 and 3, again, vertical angles. It's kind of fun. Okay, so a furniture designer built a bookcase shown. Line A is parallel to line B, so here's our parallel lines. If the measure of angle 2 equals 105 degrees, find the measure of angle 6 and the measure of angle 3. Okay, so we know that these two are on a line, so I'm just going to write the measure of angle 6 equals and the measure of angle 3 equals. So we know that these two are on a line, or they're adjacent angles or supplementary angles. So we know that 105 plus this has to give me 180. So I'm going to say that's 75 degrees, and why? Justifying my answer. You can either write adjacent, I'm going to abbreviate, or supplementary angles. I'm going to abbreviate there. Either answer would suffice. Measure of angle 3, well that is an interior angle, so is 6. They're alternate. So because I know 6 is 75, that means I know that 3 is also 75. And why? Because they're alternate. I'm going to abbreviate. You can abbreviate today too. Interior angles. So now it says find the measure of angle 4. Well, what do we know about 4? 4 and 3 go together on a line. So you could use this information. Or we know that 4 corresponds to 2. Lots of different options here. So we know that the measure of angle 4 is going to equal, we know, what did we say? 3 was 75. So you could either say that it's going to be 105 degrees because it's supplementary with angle 3. So we could write supplement or adjacent to angle 3. Or an entirely different reason would be that it corresponding to angle 2. Same spot on the parallel lines. Slide 10. Refer to the porch stairs shown. Line M is parallel to N. These are the parallel lines. And angle 7 is 35 degrees. Find the measure of angle 1. Okay, well we need to get all the way over here. They're both exterior, but they're not alternate exterior. Well, if we did go to its alternate exterior, that would be angle 2. So that would be 35 degrees. And angle 2 and angle 1 are supplementary. We could use that information. So we know that these two have to equal 180. So 180 minus 35 is 145 degrees. So the measure of angle 1 equals 145 because, we'll just explain what we did. Angle 7 equals angle 2 by alternate exterior. And angle 2, you could write angle 2 plus angle 1 equals 180 degrees. That's another way of writing supplementary angles. Refer to the figure at the right. Line A is parallel to line B. This one's going to be tricky. And the measure of angle 2 is 135 degrees. Find each given angle measure, justify. So when I see this, I just kind of start going with what I know. So I need to find 9, and I need to find 7. So if I know this is 135, I know that this, because it has to add to 180, it would be 45, which since these are vertical, that would also be 45 degrees. And this is a 90-degree box. So I know that these three have to add up to 180 because all three of these are on a line. So I could say that the measure of angle 9 is equal to 180 minus 90 minus 45, which would be 45 degrees. And that's using, what do we use? We used vertical angles. Then we used supplementary angles. So we can kind of write that. Angle 7. Now we got to get down to angle 7. So do we have anything here that's like corresponding that we know? Oh, 7 goes with 3 on a line. Do we know 3? Because 3 corresponds to 1, we know that 3 is 45 degrees, which means that these two have to add to 180, which makes angle 7 135 degrees. Because 180 minus 45 equals 135. How did I get that? Because angle 3 plus angle 7 equals 180 degrees. We knew that. Angle 3 equals angle 1, which is 45 degrees. So then we basically wrote here, because these are corresponding. So using all that knowledge. Kind of tough one. A little bit more puzzle. Refer to the figure at the right. Line S is parallel to line T, okay. Measure of angle 2 is 110. Angle 11 is 137. Find each given angle. So like we did before. So 110, these two are vertical. So I know that this is also 110. I know that these two have to add up to 180. So this makes this one 70 degrees. I can use some other knowledge here. What do I need to find? 6, 13, and 4. Well, we know 13 is 110 degrees, and that was vertical angles. Sorry, VA. Vertical angle to angle 2. Okay, so what else do we need to know? Let's see. So these ones are parallel lines. This one's kind of in our way. Well, if we know 4, if we can find 12, 12 and 4 correspond. Because there's a parallel line, there's a parallel line, same spot on the parallel lines. And we know that 11 is 137. So to find 12, so we know that angle 11 plus angle 12 has to equal 180. Well, we know that this is 137 plus angle 12 equals 180. So we would subtract 137. And we get 43. So angle 12 equals 43 degrees, which is also angle 4 because corresponds to angle 2. Angle 6. Okay, so now we know this is 43. Oh, let's see. So this one lays on line or transversal R. So that means that 2 and 6 are in the same spot. So this would be 110 degrees because it corresponds to 2. So 110 degrees corresponding to angle 2. Kind of have to pick apart those lines and transversals. Sometimes you just have to pick yourself up and carry on. And life gives you lemons. I actually think it's an orange. That's kind of cute. Have a great day.